Well, Ross, we don't do things the easy way. A 2-1 defeat here on the last day of the season. I think that is a little bit harsh on us, if I'm honest, standing here right now. Before we get on to the big news, we've qualified for the playoff semi-final for the second consecutive season. Let's just focus on the game first. A game of two halves, I think, is the cliche to sum that one up.
Yeah, I thought first half we controlled large amounts of the game. I thought that some of our general play was really good up until the sending off, and then I thought we dominated. Could have scored 8 today, and I thought we was that good at in and around the box creating chances, and we opened them up, and we should have scored 8. We had many chances, but we just didn't put it in the back of the net. And second half, I thought it was a different game. I thought they parked the bus and they worked their shape really well. They made some great blocks. The defenders need some big credit in the goalie because they made some huge blocks. And I thought the ref was terrible. I thought I don't know what was said at half time, but he came out and gave us nothing, absolutely bugger all. But that's football. We need to do a little bit better with the goal. Obviously, the penalty in my eyes wasn't a penalty, so I need to watch that. From our side, it didn't look like a penalty, but again, I thought he was dying to give something because he gave a red card to them, so he levelled it up. But our general play, listen, we're in their half all second half. We just couldn't find that extra that goal to finish them off. So yeah, listen, I think the result is really key, but I think the final result in where we are and the playoff position and that sort of situation is a little bit greater today. So yeah, we're frustrated not to get the win, but I think we've done enough to deserve where we are.
It was a difficult game, really. I mean, the first half, I think, was probably our best half of the season from the stands, give or take a few. We're brilliant. I mean, I think their goalkeeper should definitely be their man of the match. He's made loads of saves. We've had 3 cleared off the line in that game as well, and we went ahead deservedly. Second half, when you're coming up against 10 men, it's always going to be difficult. They score 1 on the counter and equalise, and still you think, let's keep our heads up, and then again a demoralising decision goes against us. Didn't go our way today. When I speak to you, usually it's we've had loads of chances in front of goal, and you're usually telling me like we need to put more in the back of the net. The same goes today?
Yeah, I mean, listen, their goals, we can prevent the counter. I think we need to do better with the centre forward running into the channel. But he's cut it back, and I think maybe Fleet or Ash has got a toe to it, intercepted the ball, and it's just gone straight to the centre forward. So that's a bit unlucky. Penalty decision again. I thought it was soft, and I thought he just wanted to level it up, which he did. So he got his way. But I thought second half, yeah, listen, we're playing against that sort of deep block, low block, whatever you want to call it, and the defenders defended really well. So we've got to also give them credit as well, because they threw their bodies, they were blocking. We had loads off the line. I think Zach had about 5 shots on target. The keeper's done really well. So yeah, it's a weird feeling. It is weird right now because I'm not happy with the performance in terms of we need to put teams to bed and put them to the sword. And first half we could have killed them. We just need to take those chances. So it's positive performance in terms of our play, being consistent. The result obviously didn't go away, but if the actual bigger picture result did. So that's something we need to take as a positive going forward.
I was watching you and your management staff at the end. Obviously, we always do the huddle at the end, and you do your team talk on the pitch in front of the travelling fans. Obviously, you're a little bit disappointed with the result, and we've not done anything yet, really, in the grand scheme of things. Going through to the playoffs in terms of actually getting promotion or doing anything. That'll be decided going on. But what an achievement. It's the second season in a row that Oxford City will play in a playoff semi-final, this time at home. It's the highest ever finish in Oxford City's 140-year history. You must be so proud of the boys after the full season. The table doesn't lie. And I just want to say congratulations to you. And what do you have to say about the team going into the playoffs?
Yeah, I'm obviously really proud of the boys. They've worked really hard. We've got some boys from last season here. We've got some new boys who've come in. I think the identity and the training and everything has really come together. I think the boys have embraced the style of play and the way that we want to play as Oxford City. I think it's enjoyable for the fans. It's definitely enjoyable for me to watch and the staff, and hopefully the fans as well. And it's a really big achievement and something that I think we'll reflect back on maybe in a few months' time. But right now it's still quite raw, and we've still got a job to do. So if we play like that, I think we'll win more games than we'll lose. Take away the counter-attack and the terrible penalty. But yeah, I think right now, I think it's got birds doing their business on us. So yeah, listen, it feels positive. It's really good for the club, an achievement for the players, myself, the staff. Really delighted for how far we've come as well. And yeah, highest finish ever, which is, yeah, the boys need to take some credit and really embrace that, because they've worked really hard to be here. But the journey isn't over. We've got a big game coming up at home, so if we can get our fans on board with us and cheering us on, which they were in numbers today, so we thank them for the journey. We couldn't get the result, but the bigger picture was the most important thing.
They say that was good luck, so hopefully that stays with us. In that, I mentioned you speaking to the lads doing your team talk. It would have been about the game, no doubt about that. But what is it like, you know, as a manager? We see it on the telly all the time at the end of the season. You know, there's one eye on the Chelmsford Taunton game. No big celebrations, of course. A little bit of a hard work paying off for the top three, which I think is deserved. What is that like? You know, and I suppose, what did you say to the lads after the game?
There wasn't much celebrating because it wasn't good enough from us. Like, it should be 8-0 or 8-1 or whatever you want to call it. But I think because of the chances we created and because of the scoreline that could have been, I think then we would have cheered. But I think the boys are still, we've still got so much more to do, and we're always learning. I think today, like, the amount of chances we created and we was in the final third, and that's also a positive. Not many clubs can do that week in, week out, and we are doing that. So that's the positive. The only negative is that just hitting the target, and the goalie made some good saves. But it wasn't. I don't think it was a celebrating moment because of the circumstances of this game and how it felt. You know, it felt like we had to scrape the result. And really throw bodies forward where we was comfortable, and we didn't really need to. So mixed feelings. I think today I'm probably more disappointed in our performance in terms of dominating games, putting them to the sword, scoring more goals, and seeing the game out in a comfortable manner. And I think that's what I wanted to see, and I didn't really see that. So I'm obviously annoyed, but at the same time I'm delighted. So it's very weird. I think the boys are in good spirits now. They're in the showers, they're having a good joke, and I think when we get on the bus, I think we have to then reflect and go, look, that's one game we tick off. We've always had a good game against Bath, and we always technically, I think, tactically, and we dominate. Just today, we just conceded some sloppy goals, and big credit for their players putting a real shift in. The fans as well here at Bath been brilliant, big numbers today. So it's, I think it's a good occasion. I think the performance we'll reflect back quickly on, but the bigger picture, I'm sure we'll get on the bus in good spirits now.
A week, just over a week if you like, until our next game then, that semi-final. There's been plenty of time this week to talk about that. We'll bring all the Hoops fans and other fans as much as we can on that. But for you, as a manager, how exciting is that? And how important is it that we get a full raw charging stadium, a bouncing atmosphere for the lads, and a real occasion on the pitch as well to send them home happy? Yeah,
I mean, we had the taste of it last year. We come against a really strong Dorking team, and I thought on the day we were just a yard off it. I think the game took it out of our legs on the couple of days before. But I think we've earned the right, and we've worked hard to put ourselves in a position to miss that game out now. So we've got a good week to prepare. There's places and shirts up for grabs. There's all sorts going on. It's not set in stone of what we're doing. So we've just got to work hard this week, and we've got to do the things that we have been doing in training to sort of replicate why we're here and to kick on again. So it's going to be a big ask. Positive is that it's a home game. We wanted that home game. We've got it, but now we can't rest on that. We've got to perform, and we've got to up our levels again. And I'm sure that once we get on the coach, I think the spirits will be better. I think mine definitely will be a little bit better, but it's important that we reflect quickly of why we did lose today, because it was a loss. The bigger picture was a win, but today was a loss. So we need to make sure that we assess it quickly and put it right for Sunday.
And finally from me, nicer problems to have for you, but you've got a tough week ahead. I thought the substitutes that came on for us didn't disgrace themselves and played really well. Yeah. So you've got a tough job as a manager. Obviously, this is your job, and it's tough sometimes. You've got a difficult decision to make, but that is what's so good about this squad, isn't it? Yeah. There's no set starting 11. Everyone in the squad is worthy of a place in some sort of thing. Are you looking forward to this week?
Yeah, definitely. Well, 100%. This is why we do the game, and this is why we're here, is for these moments. So I think the boys who came on the pitch, Joe came up front, was working so hard to create angles and be a nuisance, and got himself into the box. And Mitchell came on, was overlapping and give us a bit more thrust out there. And Joe Wilson, is quicker than I thought. He's running on and making bad balls into good balls and putting balls into the box, and he gave everything. And I think when you've got players to come onto the pitch to do that, then you've got half a chance. So I think today was a reminder that we are a collective here and a team. Just because you played the last 2 or 3 doesn't mean you're playing the next game, and it stands for the next game ahead on Sunday. We've got to work hard on a training pitch. You've got to earn your shirt. We've done it all season and it's paid off, and we're going to continue to do it. So what I want the boys to do is to stick together and get some food now and get back on the bus in good spirits, and look forward to the week's work ahead, because it's a good occasion for the club.
Well, Ross, not just for today but for the whole season, congratulations and thank you for your time.
Cheers.